Yeah, the
I
audio
want to check
portion
it.
should be rolling. And then you can see what I did.
I'm looking at it now. Oh, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I like it. I like it a lot. I
That's
like it a lot.
pretty
That's pretty
dope.
dope.
I like.
All right, so let me see what we got here. Retweet. Fair enough. But yeah, there was a lot of wind today. Like it was really crazy. I don't know what was going on. Weather wasn't too bad, so it was all good. Sent a couple of emails out, which I'm sure you saw. Um, word, and that's the extent of that.
The weather over here is so gloomy. And it's not a nice kind of gloomy either. It's just gray clouds. Like it's threatening to rain, but it's
Right.
be like, nah.
So it's like we're about to rain. Psych. No, we're not. That kind of a thing.
Yeah. And it's just kind of been like that. And depending on what part of the island you are, it'll be really, really, windy or not.
Mm.
Of pretty much it.
So what is it like? 80 degrees right now. What do you got?
Probably around the 70s, to be honest. I don't even pay attention to what the weather is like anymore. Like, well, not weather, but the temperature wise, because I
Right.
don't know.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So I had to turn the heat up today. It was like 30. It was like 45 plus, give or take. Um, I was like, yeah, I need to turn on these heaters. They need to go on. So it's just like, all right, time to do that. Then I saw a couple of news bits that came through today. So I was like, let me add that. And then we can go from there. Mm, 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 mm. But yeah, but Yakuza's been fun. So I definitely want to talk about that. It's been fun. It's an interesting experience. I know I have one for the PS3. I don't know which one I have. And I also saw that Yakuza 0 was a real hit. And I may go back and invest in that series a little bit more and even put more time into Persona 5. We'll see. Different vibe, man. Because Street Fighter gave me a little bit intermission, which is good. So Division, they have another event going on right now. What else is going on? Trump wants to meet with video game execs, which is not in the show notes actually, but that's a thing. But it's crazy. Secret message. Never ending story.
So I was trying to. I'm like, I saved you somewhere. Where did I save?
Yeah, right.
I've just been like kind of tired. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting enough sleep.
Right.
I know I'm getting enough sleep, but I just wake up exhausted, like I just didn't sleep.
How's like your iron levels and stuff like that?
I have to
How
take iron
and
supplement pills because I am anemic. So
okay.
I take those. I don't know if it's my diet.
Yeah, I'm not a medical expert or anything, but from what I understand, that actually messes with your cycle. So you actually get rid of more iron during your cycle than if you didn't have it, right? So I would check on that
All right.
if you haven't already. Doctor.
Did you tweet it out?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm so focused on stuff here. All right.
yeah,
I think this
yeah. We're good.
started.
Yeah, we're good. I can tell you one more time if you need to, but yeah, I think we're good. I'm ready, huh?
Sure.
Am I sure what?
Are we ready? I don't feel
Listen, I
ready.
have to be ready. I have no choice. I have no choice but to be ready. We gotta pass. We gotta run through 400. You know, and look on to other things. So I'm ready. I have no choice. Word.
Because we're live now. We're all good. We can go. We.
Nice, nice. I see you. Episode 392 of the show radio. We're gonna blaze through, run through a wall when it comes to 400. Right. Charge the hell for the next 200 episodes, depending on how that works out for us. But I'm excited about this particular episode. Lots to talk about. 392. Daniela, what is up?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
How do we
I feel
sound? We
like
sound
I
okay?
don't. Yeah, we sound good. I think we sound good, but we've. I
Nice, nice.
guess. It's nice to have the feedback about the whole audio things. I'm still working that on my end. So any feedback, anything that was wrong, please, I'd love to know. Andrew would love to know. He can relay the message to me. Trying my best
Absolutely.
here. Try my best.
You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing. So 392, 8 away from 400. I've been asked, are we gonna do anything special in particular? I don't know. I am taking it one episode at a time, and my main thing is just to make sure that we're providing the best information according to our niche possible for every episode, and hopefully one person, whoever is listening or watching, can take something from that and move with it. So that is my goal every episode. So we've been pretty steady providing that, and I think we're doing good stuff.
Yeah, I'm very confident. I'm just. It's kind of crazy. It's been like a year. It's March now,
It's March
which is
now. Happy New Year.
which is Happy New Year to you too. Which roughly I don't remember the exact date. I have to go and look. That's when I recorded the first episode with you.
Yeah. So I
So
know we didn't have anything for specifically for the top of the show. So it's been a year. Okay, so talk about your experiences this past year, March to
it's
March, I guess.
it's been crazy. It's been fun, and I don't know. I look forward to whatever the next thing is. But if this is where I peak out, which I don't think so, I'm happy. It's been a very fun year, and very it's a huge learning experience. That's a number one thing. It's just one giant learning experience.
Okay.
And
What
every
have you learned?
time, um, what have I learned? Just how to socialize with people better.
Okay.
Just talking and just being like learning to be myself and comfortable with my voice and and knowing that it's not really about you don't have to act to be somebody else. You don't have to fit into some little perfect square about what it should be, and there's no template. That really, it's just about just making friends and networking and talking to people and finding out like you have so many of these same interests. It's kind of amazing to me, and it's strange that you probably should know that well, beforehand, especially when you're in your 30s. But that's what makes it a great learning experience. It's something new.
Okay. So between the Twitch and this format, the audio portion of it, archiving that as a podcast, do you feel that you found your voice, or you still feel like it's something that is progressionally happening for you?
I think it's progressionally happening. I don't think I
Okay.
ever want to reach that point where I've like, okay, I feel like I've learned this part. I hope it's always a growth experience.
Okay, that's good stuff.
Am I finding
That's good
it
stuff.
more? Yeah, I think I'm just a lot more comfortable. I'm still a bit
Okay.
shy. Like it still makes me nervous having to approach or send an email or anything like that because I think I overanalyze everything, and it really isn't. It really isn't that
All right. Well,
serious.
since we're actually doing like a meeting session here, apparently, so do you feel like you need my permission to send emails and stuff, or
No, I don't feel like I need
okay,
your permission,
good,
but I do realize like sometimes it's kind of like it makes me feel better. Like I know you don't need to be CC'd on all my emails and
right?
but it's like in my back of my head it's like I feel more confident in what I'm saying. Like you don't have to say anything. I'm not expecting you to. I'm not expecting you to do any of the follow-up emails or conversations or anything like that, but it just makes me just like just hold my hand just a little bit more.
Okay.
Like just like
Now, do you
that.
okay? That's I'm glad you said that. Do you feel like I hold your hand too much?
No.
Okay, good, good.
I think you're very encouraging of like, yeah, just go and do this. You're fine. I believe in you. I got confidence in that. And that feels good. It's just kind of like, okay, I know, but let me take my baby steps.
Okay.
I will get there. But
Okay. So, do you think I should push you more then?
no.
Okay. Not yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay. All right, fair enough. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's the end of our meeting session in this episode, apparently. Okay, so episode 392 of the show radio. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the show radio. It's episode 392 of the show. I'm your host, Andrew.
Hey guys, I'm Danny.
And this is your source for tech, gaming, and entertainment news. Head over to theshowradio.info. Once again, that's theshowradio.info and check out past shows. While you're there, subscribe and tell a friend about the show. Twitch.tv /the show radio live is where you can find us live streaming the show most of the time. And definitely check us out there. Also, podcast listeners will definitely have you with the iTunes, Google Play, and all that stuff. So, Daniela, what's up?
Nothing. I was responsible today and I got my car worked on and I find myself wanting I'm creative on the digital media side of things. Like I always want to learn something and I'm always messing around with Photoshop or with After Effects. But I reached a block and I've gotten into this new hobby which probably might be the death of me, which is bullet journaling. And
Okay.
Instagram and Facebook, I don't know where the algorithm of that came from, but it's just like they will show you those specific kind of posts or sponsored ads for different markers of these handmade, well they're not handmade, like you buy a blank journal and you turn it into like your own personalized planner.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's I just kind of been doing that.
What's up? What's
and
up? Straight nasty. What's up, Aaron? Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it, man.
and yeah, hey guys. And so I don't know. I've just kind of been on this tangent and being weird about Pinterest and Instagram and just like journaling this. So I sat in the waiting room at the Nissan dealership just looking up for inspirations and being those things. And I know that eventually that I'll go back, like something will click in my head of like I like this idea or I like this feeling, and it will bring out that digital art side of me to want to work. Not want to, but break that barrier block that I'm kind of stuck at in being creative. But on top of
Okay.
that, I don't know what it is about today. I don't know if it's Friday because my car appointment was like 9 o'clock this morning. I was sitting in the lobby, and the first thing I walk into was this lady. She has her Miller draft beer. She's just sitting in the lobby, casually
Okay.
drinking. Mind you, there's no bars that are open right now. There's no open
So
bar over
so
there.
she
She
brought her own beer.
she brought her own beer. And
Okay.
I was just like sitting there, just like, all right, okay, that's fine. And it looked like she had a really hard night out because her makeup was just like all melted and smeared. Her clothes are a little bit disheveled. So I don't know if she's just continuing the party or she's trying to avoid the hangover. I don't know. And
Right.
then I was just like, I let her do her thing. She was quiet. She's just doing her own thing. And then I realized the guy that was sitting next to me He gets up, he stands up. I did not know he had a cooler in front of him. Like it was between his legs, but it was tucked back closer to the chair. So I didn't
Right.
notice it till he stood up. And he goes in there and he grabs a beer out and he walks outside. And I'm like,
Yo,
and what am I missing today?
Party time.
Is there a sign somewhere that says drink your beers as you wait for, like, I don't know. But I
right.
do know is like, please let me leave before you guys get on the road with your carts because I know we're all waiting for our car. And I don't want to be on the road when you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god. Yeah, Aaron says BYOB the dealership. Keep it up, Jenny. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
That's all
it
good.
it was certainly an interesting experience, and I thought that I was just missing something. I don't know what, but
Interesting stuff. So today was really very light. You know, definitely we were gonna talk about The Shape of Water, the movie. That's in the show notes, among other things. I was trying to figure out. I had to deliver a document to my daughter's school, and I was trying to figure out the best time to do that. A lot of rain today, a lot of wind, but it was just one of those days. Very mellow. I'm hungry. I'm just gonna announce that in advance. So I don't know if I'm cranky hungry, but I'm a little hungry. So I'm looking forward to running out after episode 392, getting bread so I can do my cheeseburger once we leave this awesome place that we call the show radio. So that's what's going on with me right now. Emails are going out. We're figuring out the E3 stuff. E3 is only going to be me, and what I mean by that is my family was planning to come. There was um, a conflict with some of the dates, so they're not going to be making their way. So I'm going to be the one heading out there from New York, and definitely will be meeting Daniela there for sure. So I'm looking forward to that experience again. All the hugs. Hopefully, I may not cry, but I'm not guaranteeing that that's not going to happen. Gonna be an emotional thing for me too. So I'm working through that. So 392 definitely wanted to start with Vero, the social media platform. I know you've touched on this very very recently. I signed up today. What has your experience been so far with that platform?
I oh my goodness. This is where you okay. I like it. I
Okay.
like it. Just I like the interface. I love the look. I love what it's trying to do. I really appreciate that. Now that's where you go in between, like, do you like a product for what it offers you, or do you dislike a product for who runs it? So there's like
Okay.
been some really weird dramas. Well, I wouldn't say dramas. Um Controversial things that were found out about the CEO of the Vero, and it turns
Okay.
out he wasn't paying his workers for like 8 months plus. They're unpaid, and then he fires them without any pay, leaving these families homeless. And he has very questionable tactics business wise. And it's like, do you really want to continue supporting somebody like that? Even though you like the product that they put out, it kind of goes against about what I don't know. I'm like on the fence on it. Because of that, I open it up, but I haven't been actively using it
Okay. So
because I'm
it's
trying to.
going against your core values right now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And you're struggling with that to see if you're going to remain on the platform, or you're going to remove it off of your phone. Um, and you're knowledgeable in the fact that this is happening in the background as far as the execs are concerned, and many individuals aren't, right?
Hmm.
So they may just like the platform just to like it. Do you feel like you can disconnect that and use it, or it's not going to happen in relation to that?
Well, obviously, he's not going to go anywhere. He's the founder and CEO of it, so it's his unless he sells it. And he has a very long history of this, so that doesn't seem like he's going to be changing anytime soon.
Okay.
So it's like more
So
of me of like I might just delete it, just like delete
okay.
my account. because I don't think
Okay.
like morally I can support somebody like that. I mean, I know I'm not paying for it, but I am adding content to it. I am sharing myself on it. I am encouraging other people to use it. I I just don't know.
Okay, so in the context of what you're saying right now, recently, the Weinstein Company, if guys in the chat definitely chime in at any time for questions or anything, I think they filed for bankruptcy. So, in terms of the certainties of who's going to be in the exec chairs, or that could change, would that make it different for you if that did happen to consider using the platform, or what would that do?
Possibly. I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, even without that, it's more of, do I need another social platform? I know I'm
Right.
always curious about it and I will go and try it and see what it's about, but there's only so many social platforms you have the time to manage, to pay attention to foster.
Right.
So, this is like adding onto the list. Like, okay, because of this, I really don't have to have it.
Okay. Okay. A couple of things in the chat. Another platform for sure. Aaron says Weinstein and Co. and the going under. Yeah, that's definitely. I'm watching it on and off. I'm not completely invested in that particular news bit. And I know. I guess off topic. There was a crossover done by James Harden, who plays for the Houston Rockets, to another player, and that was absolutely embarrassing. And people were heavily focused on that. And I saw it live, if you want to call it live, even though I was watching TV from my house. It wasn't live, but that was crazy. But outside of that, yeah. So a couple of things going on with that. So that's Vero. Technology news. Definitely want to jump into that. Best Buy shutting down 250 mobile stores. That's a thing. Amazon recently agreed to purchase a video doorbell maker Ring. Any comments on those two things?
Amazon's taking over the world. That's it.
Right. Amazon's definitely taking over the world. Are you shocked, surprised in relation to that news?
No, I guess not. I feel like there isn't anything that can really surprise me about what they did. Like, I was surprised when Amazon bought Twitch.
Right.
Like, that was crazy and huge news to me, because you would never think that these two services would ever come together, yet they did, and they work so well. And after that, it just doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so the thought with that, or additional thoughts that was brought to my attention, is Amazon wants to deliver packages to you without you necessarily being there. And what better way to do that, to get more stuff outside of their shipping places to your door, whether you're there or not? That's just more money for them. So over time, that's going to come back like a thousand-fold for them.
That's great if you have a doorknob. Or not a
Yeah,
doorknob, but a
right.
doorbell. Well, I don't even have a doorknob on my door. It's weird. It's my main door is like doesn't have a knob like a traditional door.
So how do you open the door? Like, do you
It
have a
slides.
keypad thing, or?
It
Oh, it
slides.
slides.
So I
Got
don't
it.
have to turn anything. It just slides.
Okay.
I don't have a like doorbell either.
Mm.
I don't think I've ever lived in a place that actually came with a doorbell.
Is that a traditional thing for the area in
I
which you reside?
don't. I guess so, cause I don't.
Mm.
No, my grandmother's house has a doorbell. Oh wait, no, they put that in after the fact, but it has a doorbell. Um, I don't know. Like even my best friend's home, um, her parents' home, they both of them don't have a doorbell, but one has um a like a gong, which I love.
Really?
Yeah,
Like a
and
classic, like
gong.
brass type, or?
Yeah, it's about
Nice.
15 inches. Well, it's like a miniature one, but it's still 15 inches in diameter. Remember them, her dad telling me about it. And then the other one is like it has like it's like a wind chime, but it's heavy enough that it will not blow with the wind unless
Right.
it's really 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 windy. So you basically just grab it and you just do a little whirl, and and it rings. It's really loud because you can hear it in her.
So you ring that you hit the gong thing every time you go over there. Like
Yeah, even though she's right there at the door.
that is dope.
Like
I
you
would
like
too.
I like if she can hear the car coming up sometimes, or she knows like approximately how long it's gonna take me to get there. I try to
Right.
get there before there just so I can run up to her door and just hit the gong before she can answer it.
That's pretty cool. So definitely want to hear from the chat. Do you have a doorbell? No doorbell? Does your door slide? Let us know in the chat for sure. Definitely want to hear your thoughts in relation to that. Let us know for sure. Okay, so that's what's going on with those two things. Google Cloud integration is coming to Dropbox. If you're a fan of that, look into that for sure. Google Flutter, which is a UI framework that's going to make it easy for apps to look exactly the same, whether you're using a Android phone or a Apple phone, that kind of a thing. So definitely look into that if you're considering, I guess, creating apps and that kind of a thing. Any comments on those two things?
I was actually looking at the Flutter, the beta, and their
Yeah,
website.
word.
I've I always have the ambition of wanting to learn a different language and programming, and I don't know. I think that's the first thing is I don't know what I would ever want to make. I don't know where to start, and this just looks like fun to play around with. It's currently in a beta, so I think I'm going to go and download it and just mess around with it. I don't know what I would necessarily make with it though. Um, it just looks interesting. I don't know. I like learning. I like just messing around. I don't know what I would make. It's for Android phones. I don't even know what I could possibly make on my phone that I'm going to use that's going to be anything useful.
Well, I mean, like a couple of things, right? Because you like to cook, right?
Yeah, I
You like to
guess.
help people.
I
You
like to
guess.
eat.
Now you guess. You like to eat. Now
I
you
like to
guess. You
eat.
don't
There's
know
a
anymore?
difference here. There's a difference there, okay? It's like I don't necessarily like to cook, but I love food and I love to eat.
Okay. All right. So a couple of things in chat. Now, new place has no doorbell, just a door knocker, regular door, but that sounds cool. Says Aaron says straight sick nasty. New apartment, old school knocker. Aaron, I do have one of those Vint doorbell cams. Vivint? Is that what
Vivint.
Vivint. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's I don't know. I got doorbell, and it sounds like a very old school doorbell. So definitely thanks for that. Solab, thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you for sure, man. What kind of a door knocker bell situation that you have for you? Definitely chime in the chat for sure. Really do appreciate it. So yeah, so you like to cook, you like to help people, you like to communicate, you like a lot of things. So I'm sure you can create something with that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mess around with it. It looks really fun to actually use and learn. And I'm
Word.
much more of a hands-on type of person rather
Okay.
than having to read it. That's the part that kills me is having to read through books and how to learn some programming language or JavaScript or C or anything like that. I if I don't have my hands on with it and I get to actually see it in play, I don't care. I end up losing interest in it. Period.
Okay. All right. So Solev has a doorbell. Tracy, you have a doorbell? Thanks for joining the stream. Thank you guys for hanging out. I definitely want to say that for sure. Who has a doorbell? Who has a gong? We want to know. we want we want to know. So that's what's going on with those things. All right, so we did the Apple. Oh no, we didn't do this one. So Apple has updated its publicly available iOS security documentation to disclose that personal data associated with the company's iCloud service is stored in cloud servers operated by Google, specifically the Google Cloud Service. Any comments on that? Daniela first, chat. You go after that. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I think
I
that is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Okay.
I
Because
think it's funny. It's just like you think of Apple. They have everything. If they don't have it, they make it. You know?
right.
And when they make it, they're usually like A1 at it. They got it down like that first try. And everybody wants to move over to it, but here they are. Like, okay, so our cloud service isn't the best, but Google, you seem to have something right. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna be best
Right.
buds.
Right.
People seem to like your service. You're just as much around as we are.
Absolutely.
So I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Okay. So I definitely want to hear the chat. Okay. Tracy said, "Just coming here while you're ringing my bell." We could take that in so many different directions, but we won't. So I really am curious for the chat. So if you have Android, hit 1. If you have Apple, hit 2. And do you have an issue with the fact that this is happening right now? So I'm going to do another quick read just so you understand what's going on. Okay. So Apple has updated its publicly available iOS security documentation to disclose that personal data associated with the company's iCloud service is stored in cloud service operated by Google. Do you have an issue with that? So what do we have? Android and Apple. So okay, so we got two. We got Apple, which I knew that. Straight nasty, my bro. I knew that. So who else? Who has a problem with that? Anybody have a problem with that? I just switched to Android. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You miss your iPhone? No comment. No comment, Tracy. No comment. But that's an interesting thing. And individuals who are so against doing anything Google, because security stuff. And I've heard so many different conversations over the years. I mean, I started out with the G1 and now have another Android phone, many years later, obviously. And I haven't heard anybody really comment on the fact that this is a thing. I have not heard anything. So Nasty says Apple stores the data, but Google cannot access it. Yeah, it's interesting though. It's an interesting dynamic and relationship being built with that. So we'll see exactly where that goes. A couple of more things for technology. Any comments before we move on, Daniela?
Um, absolutely random thought. Decided to think
Okay.
about doorbells and stuff like that.
Right.
As a kid, did you ever ring, like when you went over to your friend's house? Did you ever ring the doorbell
Do you,
or knock on the door?
yeah, I rung the doorbell. I rung it.
Because the reason why I brought this up is that yesterday, yeah, I think it was yesterday, I saw the kids playing around in my neighborhood.
Right.
They don't knock the door. They just stand outside the house and yell.
For the
And
person to come out, kind of thing.
yeah, pretty much they're yelling for their friend. Or like here we don't say Mr. or Mrs. as a formal thing. We call everybody auntie and uncle as a sign of respect. So they're
Anybody.
yelling anybody. So if you came here, Andrew, somebody is they're not gonna call you Mr. Alliance. They're gonna be
They're
like,
gonna call
oh,
me uncle?
they're gonna call you uncle.
That is so crazy. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. So you have these
Wow.
kids playing around. They're yelling, auntie, auntie. Like really, and it's funny because I was like standing there thinking like, go knock the door, something. But I remember as a kid, did the same. I did the same exact thing. My friends did the same exact thing.
Right.
I don't know if it's a cultural thing or if it's normal, but right now, like as an adult, like that annoys me. Like I broke my son's friend's habits of ever doing that because I would ignore them and I would not allow my son go to the door until they learned
Mhm.
how to knock on the door.
Right, right, right.
So I was just wondering about that. That's all.
No, that's interesting because I mean, I have keys. So I have some safe houses, that I will just I'll ring the bell first and then I'll use my keys. Text first before I go and use my keys. Tracy says, my friends never ring the bell. They yelled for me from outside, but I ring bells. So that's what's going on with that. My nephew just rang the bell like maniacs, nonstop until we open it. I'd rather them just yell my name. Tracy! That kind of a thing. So yeah, so I got keys. I got some safe houses. I have keys. I usually knock or ring the doorbell depending on what they have access to. for that particular place that I'm going to. And that's what's going on with that. Definitely, thank you for your comments in the chat for sure. I really do appreciate it. Next thing I have is use your PS4 controller via an adapter on Nintendo Switch. That's what that's supposed to read like. So I'll correct it on the fly. Use your PS4 controller via a tiny adapter on your Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna have a link for that in the show notes. Next thing, and I'll just add one more and then ask you for your comments for sure, Daniela. We're talking about platforms. We talked about Vero at the top of the show. Definitely want to talk about Instagram might be working on voice and video calls. Any comments on those two things?
Are they trying to be like the next Skype or something?
Listen, if they are, I hope it's better, right?
Yeah. I think right now a lot of things are better than Skype, sadly, even though Skype's been around for so long. They just seem to
Right, right.
get progressively worse. Like they'll get a little bit better and then they just like take 3, 4 steps back. But I sure, why not Instagram? You just kind of just do your own thing anyways, regardless if people want it or like it.
Yeah, but they've been pretty good in terms of the platform. I've had tremendous use and upside when it comes to Instagram. What's Tracy saying?
Facebook tries too hard to update things. They messed up Facebook so much now. They're going crazy with Instagram. And Aaron, I like Instagram and hopefully they don't mess it up.
Okay. So you have additional thoughts on that?
I like Instagram too. I think their whole changing their algorithm about how things show up in your timeline, that is the number one thing I really, really, really don't like. I've loved everything else that they've been doing in the updates. Just that. Just that one thing. I like keeping it in chronological order.
Hmm. Okay, so Aaron says Instagram should just keep things simple. Facebook is too complex and full of issues. All right, so you know what? Facebook has been what happened?
I'm sorry, just the way that I heard that, like Facebook is full of issues. I'm like, well, yeah, because most of the time it's your family on there.
Yes, yeah, right. So I'm on the fence. Okay, so we'll read Tracy's comment and then I'll go into what I think about this whole thing. What's Tracy saying?
Tracy says they took on the Facebook algo, which sucks. I gave up trying to see my friends' posts there, and now it's the same on Instagram.
Okay. All right. So I really like the platforms for what they do. And I think that the reason it's easy for me to like it now is because I clean up my news feeds every quarter. So I make sure that I don't have a whole bunch of things on my Facebook news feeds. And it's easy for me to get to what I need using the platform as far as Facebook is concerned. When it comes to Instagram, I'm still learning the swipe ups and the stories and stuff like that. I'm still working through that process. I'm not an expert yet, quote unquote, as it relates to that. But in terms of contacting individuals, making connections, stuff like that, Instagram has been really good. And the fact that they're considering to add the video and the audio calls, which they're already experimenting with the video stuff. If I start a Instagram live stream, someone can request to be added to that, and it becomes a call. And I think the max time for that is about an hour, from what I understand and recall. I guess correct me on that, chat, if I'm going like a little in the deep end. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good for what it is. And I think that, as you were saying before, Daniela, Skype has taken like so many steps back, and Discord is becoming the primary form of communication for most of the individuals who stuck with Skype for so long. And I see them changing. I see like personal brands, major brands, period, switching over to Discord as their primary communication tool as it relates to making calls like this, recording shows like this, et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Aaron says sounds right, about an hour, and then at the hour it cuts you off, from what I recall, and then from there you can just start the call again and then add the other thing. So I'm really liking what the platforms are, and I'm trying to be better, even more efficient with them. I know that I need work in that area for sure. And one of the things I definitely want to mention to you, Daniela, at the top of the show is the fact that I'm trying to learn the video applications for the Linux platform, so it's easier for me to cut some stuff and post it here, whether that's a Instagram thing real quick or a Twitter thing real quick. So I'm working on that. Discord is amazing, according to Aaron. Changed my life as a streamer, content creator. Definitely shout out to that. So any additional comments on that?
I have to agree with Aaron 100%. Like even as a gamer, Discord has made my life so much easier because before Discord, if you wanted to have like group chats with your buddies, you had to have some type of voice over IP thing. Like I was using Mumble beforehand, which is you're pretty much it's basically strictly only voice chats. Like yeah, you can have set up different parties and everything like that, but there was nothing too fanciful of it. And as a streamer, you can't really build a community off of that. And then Discord introduced itself, and at first I was like, "What is this?" Because I think that like I heard about Discord 2 years ago. I want to say 2.5 maybe, and I I didn't immediately jump onto it when when I first heard about it. I waited until my subscription to Mumble had expired,
Right.
and then I was like, "Okay, this is free. I like the sound of free." And they get better and better, and I love it. I love everything about it. It just makes life so much easier.
Yeah, I'm digging it. It's definitely a great platform for community building for sure. So that's what's going on with that. What's the matter?
Tracy.
What's she saying?
I
What's Tracy
live
saying?
I Tracy says I live on Discord. Met my last two boyfriends on Discord. I'm on it
What?
that much. Aaron says, "There you go. Party chat, meeting other gamers, and etc."
That's pretty dope. So a recent phone I did see. There's a lot of things that came out of the MWC, the Mobile World Congress. One of the phones that really caught my attention, besides the S9 with the adjustable aperture, I think it's called. You know, the to let light in, not too much or a lot, depending on how you want to use that phone. That I saw that was really cool. But what really caught my attention is Asus because I love Asus stuff. A period. And the Asus Zenfone 5. I definitely want to highlight a couple of things with that for sure. And I want to open that up real quick. Let me see if I'm opening the right thing. Um, yeah, so it's coming soon. Expected release 2018 in April. Let me see. Display on that is a 6.2-inch screen. Okay, resolution is 1080 by 2246 pixels. Android 8.0 on that. Qualcomm SDM 636, Snapdragon 636. That is the small because there's two versions. I think there's the 5, there's the 5Z and probably 3, and there's the 5 Lite, according to the instructions and stuff that they have on their website. So Asus is one of those products, among many, and you guys can chime in at any time in the chat, that goes under the radar for whatever reason, right? Their laptops are really great. Their phones are pretty well built, right? Versus, and we have so many options when it comes to phones now, whether it's the OnePlus phones, whether it's the Vivo X and stuff like that coming out of Blue, BLU, that company. There's so many other phones that are on the market, but Asus, for whatever reason, to me, it just seems like it goes under the radar. So I definitely wanted to highlight it on this particular episode of the show radio since the information is still fresh. S9 for sure is definitely dope, right? And I don't know anything about the customer service, Rav. So no experience for me there, as far as it relates to if it's trash or not. But yeah, they build solid stuff. And Daniel, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on Asus stuff as well as the phone itself.
I like. Well, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Is it pronounced Asus or Asus?
I say Asus, so you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
Nobody
I say
correct
Asus.
me. Like I feel like I get it wrong. Um, I like their products. I really do. I've never had one of their laptops, but both of my monitors are Asus. Asus. However you pronounce it. This is like the whole Ubisoft thing. How do you pronounce Ubisoft? Um,
Ubisoft or
uh,
Ubisoft. I don't know.
yeah, pretty much. And I do like it. I never tried their phones. I didn't know that they even made phones. Like that's how.
Absolutely.
Like I have Verizon, so they have no Asus phones in there. They have official videos on how to pronounce it. Really? Okay, well then I'm really behind on the times on listening to
Yeah, I
that.
didn't even know that. That's dope. Thanks for that, Rob. I didn't know that.
But this is the
Um,
second phone that we've talked about in the last two shows
absolutely.
that has the dual cameras.
Word.
So is that going to become the new standard, the new thing?
Yeah, I think the trend for the dual cameras is really dope, and in the sense of you want to have the ability to do like the wide shots, and I think the wide shots are becoming more popular and more on demand. And if it is something that stays in the phones, I don't know, the notch thing people are having, mixed conversations about. But I don't mind the cameras as long as the cameras are great. According to this is subjective, most likely subjective. As far as the best camera on the market right now is the Google Pixel 2, right? And I think behind that could be S8s and maybe some of the iPhone stuff, but that's subjective according to the different things I've been reading and looking into. But dual camera stuff, as it relates to having the ability to have that wide shot consistently, is a thing. But outside of that, I really want to see most of the phone companies bring back, if they have not already, the 3.5 millimeter jack. And I see a lot of companies are doing that to bring that back, because I still sometimes just want to use my wire. I don't want to be a Bluetooth all the time. Sometimes I just want to use the wire and then just be on a go. And I guess I'll stop there.
Rav says they have official videos on how to pronounce it. So Asus. They say it both ways. Aaron says, well, we're never going to resolve that then. And Yanza says, yeah, our phones are trying to be DSLR cameras now. It's crazy. I have to agree with that. I do have a DSLR and I used it maybe twice last year. And
Mm,
everything I rely on my phone. I love the quality of my I have the Galaxy S7. I love the quality of my photos. It is. I'm not trying to be, you know, take model photography photos or anything like that, or super amazing scenic photos, but something that's nice and I'm happy with. But Tracy says, I have the Pixel 2 XL. The only issue is apps don't handle its pixel. Quality drops a lot on Instagram and stuff, especially on Insta stories, and lighting isn't great.
mm, interesting.
Oh, and Rav, he's gonna be our. How do you enunciate Asus? He says the official scoop on the new correct pronunciation of Asus. Just think of Dr. Seuss, a
Mm,
Seuss. That's
there
a
you go.
direct quote from a Seuss YouTube channel.
There you go. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. One of the things that I was thinking about, in relation to the Pixel, as it was mentioned, is I think there's a specific team working on the Snapchat stuff for the Pixel phones. That's why that looks amazing and it looks trash on other phones. And I remember hearing that, watching on a particular video. So it has a lot going for it, and I know that there's quirks that they're working out for that. And one recent update that they had on the One Plus, you had to send the phone back for something, which was interesting. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to be without my phone, and that's making assumptions that I have additional phones just laying around, and that's not the case for everybody. But yeah, Asus, I'm digging it, or however you want to say it. It's all good. So that's what's going on with that. So thank you for chatting about that. That's good stuff right there. All right. So next thing we have in deals, just one thing for deals I did see this week, in the last couple of days, was the PS Plus having, I think it was like 37.46 pounds for the PS Plus 12 month. So if you want to claim that and you listen from the UK, definitely look into that and check that out. Any comments on that?
No.
Nothing there. Next thing we have entertainment. Okay, so a couple of updates. We're gonna fly through some of these, but I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the chat. Please chime in, ask any questions for sure, because I want all the questions that you guys are thinking about. Because sometimes I'll get hit up, be like, "Hey man, I wanted to ask this on the show." I'm like, "Bro, you just, or sis, whoever, just ask." So we're here. That's what we're here for. So first thing, you no longer need a TV to sign up for PlayStation View. That's the first thing. Next thing on that list, Black Panther has surpassed both Wonder Woman and Toy Story 3 at the box office to become the 20th highest grossing film domestically of all time. Any comments on those two things?
I am not the least bit surprised.
Okay, because
It's Black Panther. Yeah, I I didn't hear a single person who didn't like it. Even the ones who didn't know what to expect, didn't know anything about the character, loved the movie.
right.
You didn't like the movie, well then that's a personal problem, and you should go and seek help for that.
Seek you should seek help for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really waiting for it to come, home, so I could watch it like multiple times. So we did one round at the movie theater. I know some individuals who did a couple of rounds at the movie theater, but I'm like, nah. I mean, nah. I'm just waiting for it to come home. So that's what's up with that. So, chat, Black Panther thoughts or PlayStation View. Do you even use PlayStation View? How do you watch your stuff? Want to hear those questions? Your thoughts on those questions in the chat for sure as we record. One thing I did see secret movie being recorded or filmed, I should say. Silver Surfer movie in the works. Are you excited about that? Are you a fan? Let me hear your thoughts on that.
Uh, I guess that's cool. I mean, I'm not
Okay.
like a super fan of Silver Surfer, but yeah, I'll just follow along with the rest of the superhero movies.
Mm.
We'll see how it goes. I guess.
Word, word. Shuri is life, says Tracy. Love her. Yeah, she was really dope. I really enjoyed everything I experienced. I don't know. It was shocking to me that the movie theater I went into was not really mixed. I mean, it was like 98% white people, right? I think we were like, I could count how many, black and other individuals in that theater. I can literally count it, right? And there's a reason why I went to. I don't know. This is a tangent. Am I? Do I really want to go in this? Okay, so I might as well, right? I
Yeah, you
just
might
dug a
as
hole.
well. Just go ahead.
So I went to that theater because I didn't want a lot of distractions while I was watching the film, right? Because typically when I go to theaters that are filled with a lot of uh, brown people, sometimes it gets a little crazy. And when I'm really trying to listen to the content of the actual film, I can't do that because they are very excited about what they're seeing, and I don't blame them. But I wanted my first experience for the movie theater at the movie theater for this movie to be very focused, attentive, because I knew for a fact that I don't normally do movie theaters, right? So the fact that I even went and paid for the movie, I didn't want anything that would make the experience a very bad experience for me. So that's my reasoning for why I went to a predominantly Caucasian movie theater in my area. Okay, and I knew that it was gonna be predominantly Caucasian when I went. I knew that. So that's what's going on there. I don't know how we got there, but let's go back to Silver Surfer. So Silver Surfer, what movie was Silver Surfer in? Fantastic Four. What year? I don't remember what year. That was Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah, it was
When
Fantastic Four. I don't remember what year, but I'm pretty sure the rest of the world just wants to pretend that Fantastic Four just never ever happened.
no, 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 no. Like, let's talk about Fantastic Four. It was cool, right?
No.
It was not cool.
No, it wasn't. I will take the Jessica Alba version, the first try at Fantastic Four before I will ever take whatever that debacle was of a reboot.
I didn't see the reboot yet. Was it bad? Bad?
Like they should be embarrassed it exists.
Okay. All right. So Silver Surfer hype says Rob. We'll go back to that. I gotta head out. Oh, come on, Tracy, don't leave. Thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure. A Fantastic Four in the early 2000s. Aaron says appreciate that, but I really enjoy that. So entertainment value for me is I try to go into these movies, whatever they are, without any expectations. But sometimes I get lost in the Twitter conversations and some movies I don't even want to go see, like Transformers, the last one. So I heard that it was really bad, and because I heard it was really bad, now I don't I'm not interested in even pressing play on it, even if I have access to it, right? So it's tough for me. But the first Fantastic Four, was a thing. I enjoyed that. And I think they did two of those, right? Of the same cast, if I
Yes.
remember correctly. Right?
Two
The
or
reboot.
three. I can't remember. I know
Yeah.
there's
So
at
the
least definitely two. I don't. I want to say there's a third, but I don't remember if there was or wasn't.
Okay. All right. So the reboot, didn't watch it because of all the conversations I was reading on Twitter. So Twitter can be dangerous. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, if I want to watch a movie, I don't want to hear anything about it. I just want to watch it, like The Shape of Water. We're gonna talk about in a little bit. So yeah, go ahead, talk to me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you right now. Do not, just do not even lay your eyes upon the cover art for the reboot of the Fantastic Four. That is that is where I'm gonna put that. I know you don't want anybody swaying your thoughts and opinions because maybe you might like it. I wouldn't wish that movie on my worst enemy.
Man. Okay. I remember the cover. So I guess we gotta pick some bad movies to watch sometimes. Whatever bad is, according to conversation stuff. Watch Transformers 5. Just bring reading material. Okay. Okay, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Okay. I don't know if I want to do that just because you said it like that. That's kind of crazy. Um, so you have that F for and Rise of the Silver Surfer, then the reboot. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Um, okay, so the first one was try a comment. That blue is so blue I can read the name. So try said the first thing. Aaron says the F4 and the Rise of the Silver Surfer thing. Aaron says I usually just try to go into a movie, a blind, and don't really try to let opinions influence me. At least with comic book movies. Yeah, I'm trying to be as specific. Your thoughts on that, Daniela?
I do the same. I do, and that's why I ended up watching that last Fantastic Four, and everything about it was true. Was so true.
Mm, everything about it was so true. All right, so that's what's going on with that. I would love to see what comes out of that. This I didn't see yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what this is. An excellent 10-minute film based on Lucas Pope's powerful 2013 game Papers, Please, is out now. Anything on that?
I'm gonna go watch that after this. I didn't get to watch it beforehand. I mean, I know it's only 10 minutes, but I really love that game. Papers, please.
Yeah, I remember you playing that a long time ago. Been a while.
Negative. I have a job
It's
at
been a
some
while.
border, and I can accept or deny people. It's a fun game. It's a really quick multitasking sort of game, and I love those genres. They're so underappreciated, and the fact that I like the little teaser trailer that they had, I'm like, yes. I mean, I know it's only a 10-minute short film, but that's how much I love
Word.
that game. Um,
What's worse, 50 Shades or F4 reboot? Um,
F4 reboot.
Daniela?
Fantastic Four reboot. I will gladly
Fantastic
watch
Four reboot.
50 Shades like 4 times
That's funny.
before I watch like half an hour of that reboot.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty hilarious right there. So 10-minute film, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I want to see it. I don't know what I really want. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what's the next movie that I want to really dig into, but I guess what will I like the movie conversations on the show. So you have that. So I'm thinking out loud to you guys for sure. Definitely want to check out Wreck It Ralph 2. The trailer is out in the wild, and that was really, really fantastic. Definitely want to hear your thoughts in the chat for sure. Daniela, your thoughts on Wreck It Ralph 2. What's going on with that?
Ralph breaks the internet. This is such a cute movie. I love animated movies so much, and I love the first one. And this one is it's gonna be equally as adorable. They get to be, I guess. Apparently, he gets hooked up to the internet, and then he gets to live with all of that. You know, the one thing that I thought was kind of missing was I thought it was gonna have more like cat meme references in just the trailer alone. They had one. I'm sure it'll be some kind of thing somewhere in there about it. But I'm kind of hoping that they have like a whole lot more internet trolls in there as well. Like I hope that the bad guy or whatever is it about. I kind of hope that the little internet trolls that they have are actually real trolls and gremlins.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Actual trolls.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the anime movies are so powerful, and the storytelling as well as the lessons that they give. I think sometimes those can be overlooked because they're cartoon, but man, I think the most feels that I get are for from the animation movies, man. Like if I were to be, completely transparent, like I try to hold it in. I'm like, no, I'm not. Nope, not do it. Got to breathe a couple of times, because really, those moments in those films, and I'm like, all right, this one got me. So yeah, Incredibles. Definitely looking forward to The Incredibles 2. That's going to be amazing. So yeah, so those movies are really good as far as the way they present the stuff and the feelings, emotions, storytelling, and a dynamic between the characters. All that stuff is really really good.
It's going to be good. And it comes out in November 21st. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, word. So that's what's going on with that Wreck It Ralph 2 trailer. All right, so this movie we're getting ready to talk about was an interesting thing. I don't know what to think about this movie right now. I don't know. I didn't think out loud yet. This will be the first time I'll be voicing my thoughts about this movie, but Danielle is definitely going to voice her thoughts first. The Shape of Water impressions. We both watched it. Daniela, what were your thoughts on that?
Um, so I originally started to watch it when I was sitting in the lobby at getting my car done. And then the first 5 minutes of the film, I was like, oh, okay, we can't watch this in public.
No, you can't. You cannot.
I can't watch this because she's going through her morning routine. And I was like, I'm gonna wait till I get home. Watch it then.
Right.
I'll watch it then. But my number one thing, it isn't anything about that. I have a hard time believing Guillermo del Toro that this is not a prequel to Hellboy. I
Okay.
know he's tweeted out and he's publicly said it is not, and that this Marine man here is not Abe. I know it never says references to his name or what his name is, but there's just so many similarities down to like his music, down to the era, down to him liking eggs. And you're going to tell me that's not a prequel? And I understand his tweet said that it's not Abe at all. So maybe they had a baby and his name was Abe. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Because even Aaron says, yeah, this really feels like it's in the Hellboy world. And that would be, I mean, he can say that's not Abe, but he didn't say it's not Abe's dad. That's not Abe's mom. So maybe they had a mer baby.
Right.
Yes. There's just too many similarities. On top of that, the actor that plays him is the same actor that played Abe. So
Okay.
I'm gonna sit here and then be like, "You're lying to me."
So it's a possibility it's a character in the Hellboy universe for sure that he's denying.
I don't know. Maybe it could be. I mean, he's denying it. I don't know the backstory of Hellboy. I don't, or any of those characters itself. But this movie could very well be a very perfect setup for a prequel that leads into
Okay.
A, that leads into Hellboy, that leads into the reboot of Hellboy. I will be perfectly happy if he says that at some point. He's like, you know what? Yeah, you guys were right. That's
Okay.
fine with me. But I did enjoy it. It was a bit creepy in a lot of things. It was a lot of weird sexual tension all over the place. And I was
All
just
over the
like,
place.
okay. That's where that is.
Okay. So what stuck out to you the most in terms of plot, characters, different things like that?
Um I don't think I can name one thing. I love the setting. It was I kind of like the lack of actual verbal communication between her and they didn't really have a name. Creature, the specimen. I like that. That they just got each other on this non-verbal thing and it was just all emotion. It was just building that up that type of relationship. I thought that was really cool and I really liked that. Now, super aggressive boss over here of hers or whatever he was in the whole thing. His character just overall creeped me out to the way he treated his wife, to how he treated her and his aggression. It was just like really creepy and ew. And that's my thoughts. But I really did enjoy it. I really liked it. I love the music. I love it was really good.
Okay. Definitely hear your thoughts in the chat. Did you see it? Put one if you saw it too. If you didn't, definitely want to hear your thoughts in relation to the movie The Shape of Water. All right. So a couple of things I made note of, right? Um, so morning routine was interesting. It was really interesting. All right. So I made a note of the morning routine. The bathroom hygiene thing was interesting to me too, because so how do you so when you go to the when you use the restroom, Daniela,
Where's this going?
I don't know where it's going,
Okay,
but
go
you have to
ahead.
trust me.
Yes, go
You have
ahead.
to trust me.
No, I don't bring an egg timer with me to the bathroom.
Okay. All right. So, we're going somewhere with this. Okay, so when I go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna remove Danielle out of this for a second. When I go to the bathroom, I use the restroom and then I wash my hands, right? And after I wash my hands, I do not discard of the napkin and the trash in the bathroom. I discard it after I walk out of the bathroom, right? I do that for a couple of reasons because I don't want anyone to think that I go to the bathroom and I do not wash my hands after I'm done. Okay, that's one thing. So I that's just my, so I'm really, focused on the fact that yeah, I want to make sure that my hands are clean, but at the same time, you're gonna know that if you shake my hand, you're not wondering if I washed them or not. So that's my process. It didn't make sense to me when I'm watching this thing that you wash your hands before you use the bathroom and then you just walk out. I don't know. Danielle, you got to help me out with
That was
like
disgusting. That was so creepy to me. Like you don't wash your hands before and after. It's either you wash it before or you wash it after, but not both. I was like, what?
yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. That didn't make
I
any
didn't
sense to me.
understand. It's like, no, you wash
So
your hands.
that was interesting. That was interesting. So the other thing too. Okay, so yeah. So getting back to you, Danielle. So I'm gonna go back to what I was saying with you. All right. So now, do you have a particular routine as far as like when you like use restrooms or what is your bathroom routine in relation to hygiene? Not the shower stuff, just like using the bathroom and then just leaving.
So in the morning when I'm getting ready for work and stuff. Well, yeah, I always brush my teeth. I brush my teeth
Okay.
before I do anything else. I'll brush my teeth and then I'll wash my hands there and then I'll use the
Okay.
bathroom and then I'll wash my hands again.
Oh, so you do it twice. You're a two times person, not one time.
Well, sometimes it's two times and sometimes it's one.
Okay, got it.
But
Interesting.
either way, it consists of me washing my hands before I even step outside of that door.
Right. Yeah,
So
hygiene is important. Hygiene
it
is
is.
important.
But if it's in a public setting, so like if it doesn't have air dryers and has your normal like paper towel dispenser still
Right.
available, I will actually um pull that down first, like and pull out whatever paper towel that I'm going to be using to dry my hand. Wash my hands and then rip the paper towel. Dry my hands and then I'll use that same one to push down some more, just like a little bit more, so I can open up the bathroom door, like to leave.
Right. Got it. Yeah, because you can't touch the door handle because most people do not wash their hands.
Yep. And I'm like
That's the thing.
super paranoid. And I'm like,
No,
nope, nope,
it's all
nope,
good.
you're dirty. At work though, at work we have a unisex bathroom. Um, and if one of the guys uses the restroom and then for whatever reason I have to wash my hands or anything like that after, right after they left and I notice it, and I'll
Right.
see like the sink is still dry, I will yell at them. Like, you come back here, you wash your hands. We touch all the same
Mm.
things. You come back here and you wash your hands. And some of them like, you know what, that's a good point. They actually was like, I washed my hands beforehand. I'm like, yeah, and
Yeah.
so
Hygiene is important. Unisex bathroom. Okay. Do they leave the toilet seat up?
yeah, they do. I kind of
Oh
gave
man.
up already. There's seven dudes and
Those
just me.
jackals.
Yeah, there's seven
Yeah.
dudes and just me. They kind of outnumber me, and I'm like, just put it down.
Wow.
So,
That's interesting. So that caught my attention, right? So you got the morning routine was crazy. Okay. So if you guys haven't watched the movie yet, consider it. Okay. And bathroom hygiene thing was interesting. That whole conversation in the bathroom was interesting to me. Racial tension, condescending conversations and nuances. That was a thing. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
well, it fit in perfectly for the era that it was supposed to be in. Like that
Right.
restaurant scene. That
Right.
was that was really harsh. And then for him to be like, you really don't have to talk to them that way. You know, he is right, but it just fits that era. So
Okay.
I guess you knowing that beforehand and going into the film, you have to kind of expect that to a level.
Right.
However, like to a certain degree, what you can see that there is some type of transition that's happening because her friend that she worked with, you know, she's a woman of color, she was black, and she had some level of respect with the men in the area. Yeah, they're just, you know, kind of like janitors, cleaning ladies, but she still had some kind of level of respect. They didn't look down on her.
Right. Yeah,
So,
that was good stuff there. So noticed that, paid attention to that. A lot of pies being eaten in the movie. So you have that. Also, last but not least, and definitely not least, the sexual harassment stuff. That was interesting too. Um, I don't know. That was like worse for me because she was mute
mm-hmm.
and his comments were really intense. Period. Which no one should have to experience that kind of a thing. So that's a couple of things. Overall, I thought the fish was dope. The scales was dope. The breathing was dope. And I definitely don't want to talk too much about the actual stuff that happened in the movie. I thought that the Bond first half of the movie was cool, and that would have been enough for me if that it stopped there, but it didn't. Okay, and that's pretty much all I have with that. But overall, I think it was a great film to experience on so many different levels. Yeah, so I guess I'll stop there. Any final thoughts before we move on?
No,
Okay, so that's what's going on. Shape of Water. If you haven't seen it, definitely see it. I think Oscars are when, this weekend or next weekend? When is that happening?
I don't know. I don't even
When
pay attention to the Oscars
is
anymore.
the Oscars? People in the chats, if you know, please let us know. I don't know when that is. I haven't watched any award shows in a long time, but definitely let us know what's up with that. If you plan to watch The Shape of Water, let us know for sure. Curious your thoughts on that. So other things, video game news. ESRB's loot box response is new in-game purchases label that applies to almost every game. Wanted to talk about that, briefly, according to how you want to go with that. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts on the Facebook launches She Talks Games initiative. Those two things, Danielle. What's up?
That's super sly. I knew there was going to be some type of loophole that was going to be found. So that's going to be it. I kind of expected it. I mean, I would like to see some kind of change, but it is what it is. It's a trend that's
Okay.
happening. It's hard. Like when I saw that Hawaii was creating those four bills, like I knew it's like I laughed actually. I laughed. I'm like, good luck regulating that one. Really good approach though. It doesn't mean I kind of wasn't hoping that it would show some kind of change,
Right, right.
adjustments, as I really don't like those pay to win kind of things and loot boxes. It's not. It's just not for me. I don't mind, spending money on buying skins,
Okay.
but to spend money to hopefully get some really good weapon to be used in game, I'm not about that. But I knew there was going to be some kind of loophole that somebody's going to be, and this happens to be the one right here. Just adding in-game purchases, which
Yeah, absolutely.
now
Oscars on Sunday. Thanks, Try, for that information. Okay, Daniela, what's up? Facebook.
that's cool. So I did not know about this beforehand. So Facebook is launching She Talks Games, which is pretty much all women in gaming stories, which it fits in perfectly because March is Women's History Month, which is really, really great. So take your time out to go and do some, research on some women, any women, whether they be for the past, present, whatever it is, and find out their story, find out their history. It's about him. It's a great way of empowering them. Even if it's your mom, can be your greatest hero. For some people, that it really is true. They have some really great story that's available. They have a whole separate website attached to theirs. Of it's just talking about women gaming and all sorts of like whether they're a developer, a programmer, a designer, music, gamer. It's quite amazing and it's definitely to show like there's women who are creating game. It's not just men. I mean, I know you see a whole lot more men, but we're making strides. We're getting out there. So I hope everybody who goes and check it out, go and click on the link, go and Google it. If not, it'll be, on our website, theshowradio.info. We'll have that info all in our posts there about this. I really encourage you to go and check it out.
Word. A couple of things I did see in relation to that Twitter and the individuals paying close attention to this particular post is the diversity of the picture posted when this was announced. And there was a little bit of outrage on Twitter in relation to that. So I think that as Okay, so Phil Spencer did an amazing talk at the DICE thing in relation to diversity and stuff like that. And I think the more and more companies are trying to really have that as a foundational pillar in their organizations, the more we see that publicly. And I think that one of the turnoffs of this particular thing for the Facebook launching She Talks Games recently and the women and stories is amazing. We definitely want to see all talent local and international wherever they may be. And I think that what's happening now is people are looking for more diversity as it relates to those things when these initiatives launch. That's pretty much where I wanted to go with that.
Well, okay. I don't like nitpicking at something. Like I will take small wins and to have like okay, if there's not enough black women, not enough Asian women. Right now the way that I'm looking at it is just that as long as there's women,
Okay.
that's kind
So
of
you
it.
didn't feel
I don't want to nitpick at those things because you can't always be 100% correct. Like, hey, we're doing this, we're offering this, we're trying to put this out. You're always going to have somebody who's like, well, why isn't there more black women? Why isn't there more this? And I don't know where that mentality exactly comes from because I'm just happy that there's women there. Later on, I'll worry why it's not as, colorful as it should be.
right.
But it's one step in the right direction and I will take that and I'll take that as a win. And it's kind of funny that I'm saying that because something else that's kind of a little bit off topic in a way. Fortnite came out with their Twitch Prime skins,
Okay.
and there's these two new characters and this glider that you can have, and the two characters are two male characters, my first question is like, why isn't there a female character? Why can't it be one guy, one girl character that you're offering? Why are they two men? And
Okay.
my boyfriend told me, he's like, why do you need another woman? There's already so much. They already offer so many female character skins on their game already, and I couldn't exactly wrap my mind around that because they are apparently there's a whole lot more female character skins in Fortnite than there are men, but I was a little bit upset that there wasn't just one female, one male. And I'm just like thinking, I'm like, right now, I don't care if there really are more. There's not enough games that have a plethora of female characters to choose from. Even Call of Duty was very late to jumping on top of that and having, you know,
True.
a female character that you can choose to play. It's always a male. And so when I think about it, I was like, I just want more options. I don't care if they have a whole lot more already. It's like I just want more to choose from. And it sounds like
Mm.
it's being greedy, but here you have. I'm just happy that there's women that's going out. I'm not going to be picky, the color of their skin. I'm not going to be picky about their religious beliefs. I'm just happy that there's women out there representing to show that we're intelligent women. We do these things too. We're out here. Here's our story. I'm not going to pick there's not enough Asians.
Okay. Chat. Any thoughts on that? I definitely want to hear chats. While we're brewing with this, is it's an interesting thing, right? We want to see a mixed cast, and sometimes we don't see it. We have reservations about what that's supposed to look like. We're very vocal about what it should look like, and I think that it's an interesting conversation to have. It's definitely an interesting conversation to have. So, any thoughts, any comments on that? Please make sure you guys let us know in the chat, even if we move on off of it, which we're about to move right now. Eurogamer. Eurogamer, after 18 years as an independent, our parent company, this is Eurogamer speaking, Gamer Network has been acquired by Reed Pop, which is I think the PAX events people and all that. Any comments and thoughts on that?
Um, that's pretty cool. It's nice. They've been at it for a long time. I've read. I read some
Yeah.
of it. It's good. I don't have like
Okay.
too
All
much
right.
of a comment on it.
No problem. So we'll move on. Horizon Zero Dawn surpasses 7.6 million in sales. Great game. I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen a lot of awesome thoughts and reviews on it. I never played it yet, but the game is doing really really well. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that for sure. And also, I will add Grand Theft Auto 5, a game that came out 4.5 years ago, sold over 1 million copies in the UK alone in 2017. Any comments on those two things?
I haven't been able to play Horizon Zero Dawn yet. It's still on my backlog of things, and I'm so sick and tired of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay. All right. So this was happening there. So we're moving pretty quick now. Ubisoft now owns Brawlhalla, which is like a what kind of game you want to call that? The Super Mario Smash type
Yeah, it's
game,
a
right?
Smash
Where
type.
you're
It's a fighter platform. A
yeah, so
fighter.
so they own that. Thoughts on that?
um, I guess it's good. I'm kind of curious about what Ubisoft is going to be doing with it because
Right.
Brawlhalla is definitely it's popular, but it's not at the same time. It definitely has its very core community that
Right.
loves the game, but it's not up there with your games like Smash or Tekken. Um, it has its own little tournaments people enjoy.
Right.
So I kind of wondering where Ubisoft is going to go with it.
Yeah, so like when they have those showcase thing, maybe little tournament things to see exactly who comes out and who supports that. I don't think it'll. Well, I don't know. I can't speak on it too soon, right? Don't judge anything before it's time. It won't be like the big fighting thing. You think it end up there?
Uh, no, I don't think so. But I think they will put a little bit more money, and maybe they'll just make Brawlhalla too, and maybe they'll
Okay.
they'll create a bigger esports scene around that.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Rev says, "Oh, I need to pick up the Horizon DLC. You need to bump that game up on your backlog list and play it soon." Daniela.
Um, like just looking at my backlog right now that's down there. Like,
Crazy stuff.
I'll
Move
get
it,
there.
move it like 10, 20 games up, right?
Yeah.
That kind of a thing. Okay, so we recently talked about the Nintendo Switch user reviews that they listed on the website, and just as quick as they posted and announced that bit of news, they quickly removed it. Any comments on that?
Maybe they thought it was a bad idea. I have no clue. Why would you do that? Just I don't know. I thought it was a great idea. Maybe it just didn't work well. Maybe it's some back end stuff. Silly.
Word. So that's what's going on with that. Chrono, depending on how you want to pronounce that. Trigger gets a surprise release on Steam. That's a thing, and a lot of good stuff happening around the division. I think I briefly mentioned the division on this episode. Talked about it in the last couple of episodes. Ubisoft has planned a whole bunch of online activities for players to celebrate 2 years of the division and the amassing of 20 million players. Any comments on those things?
That 20 million players overall, like, I can't I have a hard time believing it's just like there's any time there's concurrent. But I mean, I know you've been playing it lately. I fell off of it. I did
Okay.
when I haven't tried too much of the new stuff. I tried the Survivor stuff, and that was cool. That was fun. But I have too many other games that I really. It was fun for it lasted, but it's only fun if you get it. I feel it's only fun if you get to play with other people. And
Mm.
then I shot the dogs.
You what? How
Yeah,
could you?
I don't know. I'm a
Why
terrible
did you
human
shoot the
being.
dogs?
I don't know. I
You
shot the
don't
rat. If
know?
no, I shot the rats. Too. I don't know because you're running around and it gets boring sometimes. I started shooting rats and then like there's a dog. I used to leave. I think the one dog I left alone was a Dalmatians because I felt like it was so rare. Was it
Right.
Dalmatians? I don't remember what it is. There's one breed of dog in there that was so rare and I'm a terrible human being. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. But why'd you shoot the dogs though? I'm curious. I wanted to. I point at them all the time, and I'm like, no. I think like Peter's watching or something. So maybe I shouldn't shoot the
I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. Like it's
dog.
cause it's there.
It's just one of those things that we can do in the game. All right, so that's what's going on with that. All right, no, before I leave that, Division is really, really, really good. And if you haven't played in the last year, in the last 6 to 8 months, I think you will recognize that this is a brand new game. It feels like with all the changes that they did to make the game more desirable and a lot to do, the different online participation activities, and I'm really enjoying it for what it is now. Even though I think I'm at a level now, it's kind of hard to get stuff at a higher tier. But I guess I need to do more challenging activities instead of just the legendary thing or whatever they call it. Normal, hard, legendary, I think they call it, or challenging. So I think there's four. But anyway, the game is really good now. They've come a long way to make it really good. They have their own podcast on it to talk about the different updates. At first, when the podcast first came out, as I'm thinking about it, they were doing a lot of the updates in the game, and I think the podcast is branching off to be more of different conversations in there as well. So definitely check them out. Show them some love if you're in that division universe as it relates to the game. And yeah, I definitely wanted to share that tidbit before we move on. Any
Uh,
additional things on that?
yeah, Rob says I had to donate to DJ to make her stop shooting those dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is true. Aaron says it has changed a lot, and the division has brought me back in. Global events are live this month, and for us max level guys, the best gears drop there.
Word.
I know
Yeah.
I'm not
So
max level.
yeah, I don't even know what the max is right now. I'm 280, so I guess educate me on that. I don't know what the max is. I have 285 guns. I have some exotic stuff. My primary and secondary are exotic weapons, not games, but weapons, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's really really good with that. A couple of things that I'm seeing also, Sony is refocusing, restructuring to focus more on first party games. That's a thing. Battlefield, that's five, right? V5, fall 2018. Any comments on those two things?
I hope that doesn't mean that you're just gonna ignore any like non AAA titles.
Right.
We'll see. I mean,
Agreed.
I maybe that will tie into the reasoning of one of our topics that we'll be talking about later on, as far as their restructuring goes. Let's see. I mean, I love all my PlayStation games. That's where a majority of my games are anyway. So it doesn't
Okay.
really affect me negatively in a way. I just want to be able to still play those indie games or, those other. I don't. I hate saying third. I guess they are third party titles, but they feel like AAA games. Hellblade. Hellblade's
Okay.
one of the great
Okay. Fair enough.
games. So we'll see.
So level 30, and for the global events, appreciate the info, Aaron. Yeah, I think I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun with the game, and I think that the I've been mishmashing on this channel, the Show Radio Live. So if you haven't checked this out yet or subscribe, please do so. We record this podcast here. I've been having a lot of fun mixing it up a bit. I mean, one day I'm like, you know what? I want to punch somebody in the face, right? So I'll play Street Fighter. And if that's not happening, then I'll say I want to play Destiny, right? And then I'll turn it on. It'll get to the title screen, and then I shut it off. That's my Destiny relationship right now. Okay. And then other days, as of late, it's been like an RPG thing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at the Persona 5 box. I really want to put it back in the PlayStation, and then the stuff with the Yakuza 6 happens. Then I'm like, you know what? Let me check that out, which we'll talk about later. So I'm a mishmash right now. I'm a mishmash of games right now, and I'm having fun playing a couple of things. What's going on with the chat, Daniela?
Straight says, gonna get back on the Division tonight. That game has got me hooked again. Need games like that and Monster Hunter to hold me off till Destiny 2 gets fixed, hopefully by March 27th, and Aaron agrees. Straight also says, or till my PC gets here, then it's PC Master Race from here on out.
There you
I
go.
agree.
Love that kind of thing.
Hashtag keyboard mouse or death.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. A couple of more things here. We have The Witcher 2, Crackdown, and Fable are being enhanced for Xbox One X. That's a thing. CD Projekt Red says it's upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 RPG to be more ambitious than The Witcher 3. And RPGs, I'm playing a little bit of, so I may dabble into that, especially if they do a demo. Injustice 2 Legendary Edition includes a NetherRealm fighting game and all DLC. Playable characters released so far, as well as the premiere skins available from the Injustice 2 Ultimate Edition. If I ever get Injustice 2, it's really for one crew, and you know who that crew is, Daniela.
Turtles.
Ninja
Turtle,
Turtles.
turtle.
Gotta be Ninja Turtles. Gotta be. Any comments on those things?
Um, I'm not sure how to take the whole Project Red thing.
Okay.
Because I am looking forward to Cyberpunk, but for them to say something as big as to be more ambitious than The Witcher 3. My whole thing with the Witcher series is that it is a lot to take in. I definitely think more so than Skyrim. There's a lot
Okay.
going on in that universe. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I think it's great. It's incredibly immersive. And to hear that Cyberpunk 2077 may take on that and be even bigger and better than it, awesome. However, because I have so much limited time on my hands already right now to be able to set aside time to play, that's why I have such a huge backlog. That bums me out because it's I'm not going to be immediately wanting to jump on it. It's like I don't have that luxury of like spending that much time to put into it, to appreciate it, and for it to not be ignored. And that's the decisions I'm making for myself now overall, just overall games in general. And that breaks my heart because I've been waiting what felt like forever, and I thought it wasn't going to be until 2077 before I saw this game. So we shall see where I find that balance. And if not, then it's just going to be something that I maybe will probably watch other people stream and, catch what they're doing because I just don't have the time.
Hmm. Okay. So a couple of things as far as like zombies and plants. Is that your thing? There's some tidbits information dropped for the third garden warfare title. Have you ever played? Interested in that particular series?
Yeah, it's cute. I didn't play the second one. I played the first one, and I used to play that with my son because he wasn't allowed. He wasn't old enough, or at least I didn't think he was old enough to play Call of Duty. So we used to play Plants vs Zombies, and it was adorable. It kind of dies out. I feel like it kind of dies out pretty quickly. Like it gets really hard to find lobbies.
Hmm.
So
Interesting. Yeah, that kind of a thing. All right, so a couple of more things. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is now part of the Play Anywhere program and has had a price drop. I think it was $59.99, and now it's $39.99. Definitely look into that. PlayStation games for the month of March. Definitely want to open that
is
up. What is that?
awesome.
It's awesome. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to remember what stuff is on that. Let me open this menu here. Let's see what the games are for that. All right, so additional service changes, which we'll talk about. Okay, so a couple of things with that: Ratchet and Clank, Legend of K, PS3, Mighty Number Nine, cross buy with PS4 if that's your thing. Claire, extended cut, PS Vita, cross buy with PS4. Bombing Busters, PS Vita, cross buy with PS4. What else am I missing? There's a couple of more things in there, right?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne,
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
I think even just between Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank makes this month's PlayStation Plus games like well worth it.
Okay. Any Bloodborne people in the chat? You played it, Daniela? I didn't play it.
Um, I haven't played it yet. I do own it. I actually own it. I got it last year, but I've like been watching some friends play it. It is very Dark Souls,
Got it.
so it's that type of gameplay. But I personally think it looks better than Dark Souls.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people love this game. I don't think I've met a single person who did not. I know a lot of people who get mad and angry at this game, but they love it.
Okay.
Aaron says he's played a little Bloodborne. He thinks it's pretty neat.
Okay.
But yeah, I have to
So
agree
when
with that.
when
It's on
people
my
say Dark Souls, right? If I just, guys, correct me if I'm saying this completely wrong. It almost sounds like whenever that I hear that, it's like expect to die a lot. Is that what the key word for that is?
yes.
Okay. All right. So I just want to make sure that whenever I hear that, because it sounds like it's something bad. Whenever I hear Dark Souls, it's the connotation is usually not positive
Because you're gonna die a lot,
because you're gonna.
and you're gonna expect, and you should expect it, and you should feel the punish. But I think that's what makes the game so rewarding, and what that adrenaline that people love so much is that you are on this one boss fighting, trying to learn its habits and patterns and what it's going to be doing and reacting in time. That it takes a lot of tries, a lot of attempts, and maybe sometimes you are good enough. Maybe you will get it on your first try. Who knows? But learning all that and taking those times and all of those deaths, that when you finally beat it, you finally do it. It is that satisfaction that you get, that adrenaline rush, and that's the feel good feeling. That is. I think people get addicted to that, and that's what makes them enjoy it that much more.
Mm,
And well,
okay.
Rob says, well, it depends on how fast you can learn from mistakes. Aaron is, it just plays like Dark Souls. People just say it's like Dark Souls, it's hard, but you learn and get better. The stakes are high. And oh, okay. Well, this is an off-topic question from Straight. He says, "Is anybody picking up Sea of Thieves? Your thoughts and feelings."
Daniela, you want to go first?
So I feel like it's such a failure at this because I got accepted into the beta a year and a half ago, but I struggled having it install correctly. I had numerous problems that I got really fed up with it, and I felt like I was the only one that had these problems. That I'm like, I'm done. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Funny enough, though, I still want to give it a try. I still wanted to play it because you're a pirate, and
Right.
that's fun, and you get to do that with friends, and you get to like pillage and take over boats. Like
Right.
what? What's not to love about that? um,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh man. You got more?
I say that, but I possibly won't be able to get it or won't be getting it. Like I want to be able to play it with friends. It definitely looks like a game that is not fun to play by yourself. Like Borderlands is a great game, but it's I personally think it sucks to play alone. You have a full party, it's a blast, and that's what I get with Sea of Thieves. Like, who wants to be a pirate all alone on your boat? Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody wants to be a pirate by themselves. So, uh, I have a lot of people who are getting it, but with our time zones and differences and work and life, it's hard to align. Happen. So that makes me sad.
Hmm. So it's interesting for me, as many of you are the types of games that we play on the channel, or or play on a regular basis. Sea of Thieves doesn't really fall into any category that I'm interested in right now. um, so I'm on the fence, even watching videos about it, but I think that's unfair for the game, because it looks like it's shaping to be something really really dope. So I'll say that. So I'm defending it, but yet I'm not interested at the same time. But if someone is playing it, I'll probably take a look. I'll take a peek. But outside of that, I don't have any actual concrete feelings about it, because whenever I see the graphics for the game, I think that it's stellar, and I think that that's being fair with it. So that's how I feel about it right now.
Okay, that's
That's
fair
me.
enough.
Yeah. Any off topic questions? Please feel free there. So that's what's going on with that. A couple of more things. The PlayStation to stop offering PS3 and Vita games. So if you have been ignoring them whenever they post them for the monthly PS Plus stuff, definitely consider grabbing those, because those are going away really soon. And I still want a Vita. I don't care what anybody says. I still want to get one. Um, that's how I feel about it. Any comments on that, Daniela?
Um, hmm.
Okay.
Kind of makes. Does that mean that we're reaching its end of life here now?
I would say here,
Not well. Okay, a year from now.
but not. No, I would say no. I would say here, as far as like USA, but I don't think it's dying off in other locations. I think it's just here. The market for it here is, the market won't lie to you. If they don't like, you know, um, there was a shooter that came out a long time ago and people really hated it. But if you don't like Bulletstorm, that's maybe a good or bad example. Then the market will tell you Bulletstorm, whether you try to do a last hurrah with a recent Bulletstorm, people aren't gonna really like be excited about that. And I think what's happening even with the Vita stuff, like the more and more conferences and expos and presentations and keynotes, the less and less you heard about that kind of a thing, right? You didn't hear much about the PS Vita stuff, and and then it just faded out completely. And then the PSVR stuff is interesting too. By way of conversation, you're seeing some subtle markdowns here and there, sales stuff, but at the same time, we're not really hearing a bunch of PS VR conversations, and whether VR is kind of taking a back burner or not, I don't know, but it's very telling of what the companies are really focusing on.
Yeah, I just hearing that they won't be. I feel like okay, this is pretty much the beginning of the end for both of the.
Right.
Well, okay, well PS3 has been that's old, it's outdated. PS4 has been out for a while. I understand the need to like we're not gonna offer this. They probably saw a huge decline of like okay, we don't really have a whole lot of PS3 players anymore. So okay,
Right.
all right, I get it. And on top of that, I don't. That's funny. You're not required still on PS3 to have PS Plus to play their online, right? That was only they only enforced that for PS4, or did they carry that over into PS3 as well?
I think it's both.
Be-
Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I think it's both. I think you need to have the PS Plus to play PlayStation 3 online and PlayStation 4.
because I
I believe
remember
it's
that
both.
was the reason why I went the way of PlayStation rather than Xbox originally. Because between the two, Xbox forced you to have gold to be able to play online multiplayers, where PS3 didn't. And that's why I'm like, oh,
Right.
well, then I'm going to go play over here. I just don't remember if when the PS4 came off, because that was required, obviously, if they pushed that onto that as
Yeah,
well.
because
Because
I
I
think
once I got my four, I kind of almost stopped playing my three.
yeah the once I think if I log into the PS3 is going to ask me for uh the um the PS Plus information, especially if mine runs out. But it's hard to run out because meaning I want to play my PS4 online, so I don't want to run out. So I think that that maps to both systems. Does not
Okay.
need PS Plus to stay online. Okay,
So
all right,
that could also be a huge driving point right there because Rob says PS3 does not need PS Plus to play online. So they kept it the way that it originally was. And
okay,
they if they kick that off, I mean, if you own a PS3 right now, nothing is pushing you to go and get PS Plus. So I can
okay.
understand that cutoff right there instantly. Vita, I
Oh,
still love
yeah,
my Vita.
I'd have to check that again because I thought I mean I appreciate the information, Rob. I thought they both needed it, so I gotta look into that again.
Um, But well, I don't remember it needing it originally. It's just that once four came
Originally, it
out, I
didn't.
didn't.
Right.
So
Originally, it didn't, and I think that most of the media that I was using the PS3 for was like videos and stuff like that, and then there were some games already downloaded to the system. But even talking about the PS3 right now, it's still to me one of the best media players um, before like PlayStation 4. I still enjoy playing media on the PS3. I still think it's really really dope. So that's what's up.
I still love my PS3 still here, but I love my Vita more. And if that means because that they're not going to be supporting those PS Plus games for Vita anymore, and that's reaching its end of life, I'm gonna secretly hope that the Vita prices drop down, and I'm gonna go buy myself a spare one
Mm,
because I love my Vita that much. So,
yeah,
and
that looks like a dope system. No, go ahead.
Rob also says that it's really rough going up against Nintendo in the handheld market.
Yeah,
Is that
man,
true?
they're doing their thing. They're absolutely doing their thing with that. So this is going on with that. Activision on remasters. Activision on remasters. We expect to release World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth and our latest Call of Duty game in the second half of 2018. In addition, we expect to deliver ongoing content for our various franchises, including expansion packs for Hearthstone and Destiny 2, in game events for Overwatch, and map packs for Call of Duty World War II, as well as releases of remastered versions of titles from our library of IP. Daniela, what do you think about that?
Really? Releases of remastered versions?
You want more?
No, I don't even really like what Activision has for me right now, period. So, go ahead and do it. I ain't buying it.
You're not gonna buy it.
Nope. And
Any
I
thoughts
also don't play
on
WoW,
the
so
yeah? Any thoughts on the remasters? Chat. Definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. I think the last remaster was that I really enjoyed from Activision was the Call of Duty one, right? Modern Warfare 2, right? That one was beautifully amazing. I think they kept every bug in it. That I think it was just a remastered, beautiful version of that game, and it came out dope. So I really enjoyed that. I don't mind. I mean, if Spiral is in their box of goods, then I'm excited.
so be it.
Okay,
I
so
don't I don't I'm good. I don't really
you're good
care.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next thing, the Detroit Become Human, May 25th. So it has a release date. Detroit Become Human, over 1,000 plus permutations, decision making game, very intense. Read clues in the rooms, figure out the best way to navigate through the situations. And I think that the game also sparked up a lot of controversy because Daddy was abusing the little girl, and you're in the picture as Kara trying to figure out how you want to um, handle that whole situation by being probably what one of the multiple androids assigned to that place. And now you're active on duty trying to figure out what to do. So, Detroit Become Human is going to be an interesting experience. I am interested in the game. Definitely hear your thoughts on that, Daniela, and also the chat.
Um, so I'm super excited about this. I am. I'm glad that it's a whole lot sooner than I thought it would be. I was thinking like November, December, or something like that later on in the year. So May, which is 2.5 months away right now, like
Right.
just a couple weeks before we leave for E3. That's awesome. I'm super excited. I can actually go and buy this, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. The one thing
Word.
I didn't like, so the announcement trailer, announcement photo that they posted with it, or the cover art, is really weird or really creepy. Like I wasn't
Okay. I
impressed by it.
didn't see it. So talk to me about that.
So it's basically just like it's not even half of his face. It's like a third of this part right here, like this, on the cover. And
Okay.
I'm like, is that really the cover art? You have what this really beautiful looking game that you showcased and you showed us, and that's really seriously the best you can come up with. Like, did you use all your creativity in the game that you just didn't know what to put on the cover? I
Right.
I don't know. I think it was bad. Um, obviously I'm not gonna nitpick because that's not gonna base about how good or how bad the game will be. Except that if I'm gonna buy a physical copy, which majority of my games are, I want something pretty to look at.
Right. 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 Absolutely.
But that was kind of it. That was my only gripe. Was just like seeing that.
Okay, May 25th. Definitely check that out. Detroit Become Human. Tony Hawk working relationship with Activision. If you're interested in that, to anyone asking me to remaster old games or complaining about Tony Hawk Pro Skater servers being down, Activision owns the Tony Hawk Pro Skater license, but I am no longer working with them. If I had skills, authority to reboot servers or code games for newer systems on my own, I would be happy to. Tony Hawk,
I will take back
Daniela.
my words. If they remaster Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, the very first one, then the second one, okay, I will go and buy that. And
Okay.
I would be happy with that. Can they make that happen? I don't want any of the newer stuff. I want the older stuff.
Okay, fair enough. I completely lost track of if Tony Hawk was still working with Activision, and I don't think I was necessarily interested in the whole remastering of the game. But I remember having a lot of fun with Tony Hawk Pro Skater back in the day. So that's pretty cool. Um, but outside of that, I don't know if I would do anything with Tony Hawk at this point. But so that's where I'll leave that little bag for stuff. And in addition to that, I did see that the Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming to Xbox Game Pass. Definitely want to hear the thoughts. You guys in the chat, are you considering the Game Pass stuff? Are you in that additional another subscription on your stuff kind of world? Which I'm not. Daniela, Rise of the Tomb Raider, are you even interested in the game? I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I'm interested in the game, not so much the Game Pass stuff. Kind of neutral on it. Like, okay, that's cool, but it doesn't. I don't feel it personally applies to me for what I want.
Okay. I want Skate 3 remastered, says Rav. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, so Rise of the Tomb Raider, I do have it. I need to play it a little bit more. Game passes and stuff like that. Um, I don't like additional subscription stuff if I don't have to do it. That's where I'm at with that. Yeah. So moving on, PlayStation Video adds Chromecast support. I guess it took a while to even get there. The first two Turok games are now on Xbox One. Any comments on those things?
Turok was my jam on the N64.
There you go.
It was cheesy, but I liked it still.
Word,
So,
word, word, word. So you have that Xbox rolling out the for the insider program people a form of remote play with PCs, and I think that's over Mixer. And I hear a lot of people really excited about that whole thing. That was a news bait that I saw today, which I almost missed if I didn't check the news again. Any comments on those things, Daniela? Also, chime in on that.
Aaron says he love. Oh, I love Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Word, that's a dope game.
Um, I have to look more into this whole remote play thing. Definitely interesting. It's just like what Microsoft has doing with just their consoles and their crossplay with their PCs or whatever, the limited crossovers with their PCs, and Mixer. I think it's very innovative. It's very much thinking forward, and I find it and I think it would be really useful. It's not useful for me personally, but I know a lot of people who would get some use to that, and it really speaks to them. So I think it's cool.
Yeah. So doing that over and handing your um, community member the controller to do whatever, I think that's really dope. This is not a new thing, according to some things I was reading, because PlayStation gives you the opportunity to do that for individuals through SharePlay. So if they're taking SharePlay concept implementation and putting that over stream to the individuals that you can hand it off to in your chat or in your community, that's pretty cool. That's
It
pretty cool.
is. It definitely is. I mean, it's yeah, like you said, it's not new, but to be able to do it specifically for your viewers or your subs or anything like that, I think that's really fun. And I am sure that there are games that I have played that I am like somebody is probably sitting there just like, please just do this one thing. Why do you keep messing this up? I know
Right.
those situations because I when I get frustrated and I know somebody can is getting frustrated because I keep messing something up and be like, here, look, you take the wheel. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah. So I dig it. You know, I don't use Mixer much, but I definitely dig it. They're doing some cool things over there. Got to give them props for all the changes that they're making. Even in a recent episode, we were talking about the chatting apps and the fact that you can use your Xbox beta app to talk to the individuals who are in a party chat online, and I think that's cool. Just the different things that they're doing with their tech, I'm pretty excited about. And even though I'm not turning on the Xbox as much, I'm really excited of some of the things that I'm seeing and that they're doing for sure. So that's what's going on with that. Fortnite 60 frames per second. Can I get an update from you, Daniela? What's going on? Is that really dope?
On the console side of it is.
Okay.
I guess so. I mean, I've heard people that said it looks better, it feels better on console. Um, but for me personally, I don't play it on console. I play it on PC. I played it on console once, and I don't think I'm gonna go back simply because I'm really bad using a controller.
Okay.
I my brain is programmed to play Fortnite on keyboard and mouse. having to translate that to controller is it's really really hard. It's super
Okay.
frustrating. So we're just not gonna touch the console versions.
Okay.
However, with the latest update and the new season, and I'm loving it. I do. So I'm having a lot of fun with it, and they're just doing a lot of things right. Plain.
Very cool. Very cool. The H1Z1 introduces Auto Royale.
The game is trying so hard to stay relevant and like I don't know. That's desperate. To me, that's desperate.
Okay. That's
That's
all
all
I
I
have
have to
there.
say.
That's all. Yeah, that's all I have there. So Shenmue series creator Yu Suzuki says the ending of Shenmue 3 will allow for a sequel. That's uh that's cool. Shenmue 3 screenshots. All right, so I definitely want to do a little bit thinking out loud with you guys about Shenmue. Shenmue has really changed the way I looked at the genre of those type of games. Uh even till today. I mean, the music was dope, the graphics was dope, even back in the Dreamcast days or whatever. And for me, even now, Shenmue. Okay, so I want to park Shenmue for a second. The game Yakuza games feels like it's an intermission. It's a beautiful intermission to the Shenmue games. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about Yakuza games. I'm not saying anything bad about the Shenmue games, but right now, since we've been waiting for so long, okay, as long as Shenmue 4 doesn't take 190 days exactly, right? And so the fact that we're waiting so long for the game to come out, I think that games like Yakuza are awesome intermissions before we get to those games. So, I mean, the screenshots are obviously amazing. We're excited about the game, and to play it again, it's definitely a game that I will pick up, provided that uh, I have the opportunity to do that. I will do that. Shenmue games are amazing. I'm dying for part three. I definitely agree with you, Aaron. It's going to be one of those games that we're going to spend a lot of time in the world. I hope the world is as vast as we're expecting or hoping to be. And I think when games mention and okay, so I'm glad it's coming to me now. When games mentioning the fact that they're going to be ambitious, I hope that ambition is to make it as great as possible. And when we hear comments about the games being as ambitious as they need to be as their next game, we hope that you're doing that. We hope that at the same time, the world is everything that we're expecting it to be, as big as we're expecting it to be, and we're going to spend that much time in the RPG that you're creating for us to enjoy. So I'm excited for Shenmue, but I'm not lacking. One of the things that's happening with me right now with Yakuza, which we're talking about really soon, is the fact that I'm enjoying the game, and I will be telling you why in a little bit. Any comments on Shenmue, Daniela? Talk to me.
Actually, I had a question for Aaron since he sounds like he's a super a big fan and he's dying to play a part three here.
Word.
Were you one of those people who jumped in on the Kickstarter when they first announced it? I think what was that, 2000 and I want to say 2014, 2015.
Yeah,
I
during the
think on the
E3 presentation.
they crashed Kickstarter, I believe, because people rushed to it and it was the fastest growing funding. I want to say it was like 6.3 million. That's what
It
I
was
want to say
crazy.
it is. So I was just wondering. It was more of a question for Aaron. He did jump in on the
There
Kickstarter.
you go.
Very nice, very nice.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't jump because to some individuals, I don't buy any games. That's a thing. I guess that's part of my branding, but I'm blessed to have the games that I get to check out. So that kind of a thing. I had Shenmue on Dreamcast, then Part Two on Xbox. Yeah, Shenmue is an awesome game. Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that, the world, how they're going to present it, the characters, the music, all that. I'm looking forward to all that. So that's what's going on with that. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So Tuesday morning, this past Tuesday, if I remember correctly, so you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, that's fine. So Tuesday morning, thank God for another day, right? And so I wake up and do a couple of things, and then excited to hear and see what's going on with the Yakuza stuff. And then I'm like, okay, I see the download. I'm gonna download the Yakuza 6 Song of Life. Okay, so let's make sure that that gets downloaded to the system, and then that happens, right? So then, I don't know if it was the same day or I think it might have been the same day. So I'm playing the game on stream, and I'm like, man, this is really long for a demo, right? So I'm playing it, it says prologue for the thing, and then it's going into chapter 1, and then it's going into chapter 2, and I'm like, I'm like, well, this thing is pretty huge. It was like 36 point like 56 gigs or whatever it was. I'm like, this is dope. I'll keep playing. So I'm playing, and then we find out that Sega had this little mishap. They accidentally release the whole game part of the demo. So you're playing the thing into the game basically. It was no locks and no cutoff saying buy this game, go to the PlayStation store, anything like that. So they decide to take off the whole thing from the PlayStation online store so you can access it there. And then the following day, you were locked from even accessing that little icon that said that's it. I was gonna say Shenmue, the Yakuza 6 Song of Life prologue or whatever. So I was like, man, that's not cool because I was really excited to play it again, and I'm like, oh, I can't play because they locked it. They figured it out. They announced it on Twitter. Hey, we know that you're upset. That you can't play, so we're gonna have to take it down, whatever. But something amazing happened after that. Something amazing happened after that. So I get an email saying, "Hey, here's your review copy of Yakuza 6." So I was up, I went down, and then I'm back up again. Okay, so this game is going back to what I was saying before. Definitely shout outs to Sega for sending us the review copy of the game. Looking forward to talking about that. As far as a preview is concerned, I can go from chapter 1 to chapter 4. I can go through that, and then from there I got to stop, and then once the embargo lifts and stuff like that, I'll be able to play more of it. So I was up, down, I'm back up again, enjoying the game. Played it yesterday. Aaron was hanging out with me. Definitely shout outs to you for that. Appreciate that. And it got stuck to a part where I needed to download another 8 hours. Yeah, definitely got the review copy. So another 8 hours I needed to wait for me to get to a place where I can play what I've already played in the demo slash full game. So I'm really playing stuff I've already seen. Okay, so to me, Yakuza at this time is a beautiful intermission for me for Shenmue, and I know Shenmue is going to be its own thing. And it reminds me of those times where I used to play Shenmue all the time, and I'm really enjoying the game. Those are the initial thoughts for that. It's an RPG action game. You can play Super Hang On there. You can play darts. You could play the Puyo Puyo Tetris in the game. You could play Virtua Fighter 5 in the game. Those are the mini games. You can play the actual game, first person view, third person view. You can talk to people. You can fight. You can kick some butt and all that stuff. So I'm really enjoying the experience thus far. So since I'm replaying what I've already played, I'm at chapter 1 and change. Before they locked me out of the demo thing, I was around chapter 2, approaching that. So I'm redoing everything and going back through the roll again. So initial thoughts there. And Yakuza is definitely a game I would recommend anybody to try out. And I know it's hard for individuals to leave certain genres to explore other ones. There's so many different elements in the game, and I'll stop there. Danielle, any thoughts, any comments?
I'm listening. I know it looks like I'm not listening, but I realize there's one other thing news I wanted to bring up, but I forgot about it, and we're
That's
gonna
fine. No,
bring it
yeah,
up, and
I'm just thinking out
I'm just
loud. It's
setting up.
beautiful.
But
It's exciting. It's the world is awesome. There's a whole bunch of locked safes that I don't know the codes for, and I haven't looked up any online stuff to figure out what they are and what they have in them. You can pop some soda and drink that to you can eat food and you manage that based on your health levels and stamina and different things that affect your fighting skills, defense, and all that stuff. So you're managing all that, doing side missions, doing the main mission, getting in a taxi to go in a particular location. The dialogue is, subtitled Japanese, which I thought that was going to be an issue for me, but it's really not. So I'm enjoying that. Just the experience. You can X through them to make it faster. So you don't have to. If you read fast, you can do that, or you can just let it play out on the screen. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's a different vibe for me. I do have Yakuza for PS3. I think I have five on PS3 or something like that. I kind of dabbled in it, didn't understand it at first, but now the small amount of time that I played it on the PS3 gave me more of a base to really enjoy what I'm enjoying right now. For PlayStation 4, Yakuza 6, Song of Life, and those are some additional.
So okay, I know there's a couple of people who, when they thought it was the demo version of the game, um, they streamed it. I know you streamed it. Did
Word.
they say when they realized that they made that mistake of like, oh, you're streaming a part of the game you weren't supposed to be, because every studio has their embargoes. Please don't stream this game or whatever it is at a certain date. Did they mention anything about consequences for that? Or they're like, look, it's our
Okay.
bad. We're just gonna ignore it.
Well, so all right, so I'm playing with what I already know. So the game, the demo showed up, we downloaded, played through a certain section, then they sent the tweet, they pulled it, and then the email that I have gives me a particular window that I could play through and stop. And then once the embargo lifts, I can go ham, right? And also definitely shout outs to Try because he was watching me play it too. And if I'm forgetting any names of the individuals who were who came through and checked it out, my apologies. But really appreciate you guys hanging out for sure. All of you guys who show up. So I want to say that. But so now that we have the implementation of the next level of execution for them to release the stuff, they in the email they were very specific of how many chapters I could play through, and where I stop, and once the embargo lifts, then I can just go ham and cheese on whatever I want to do after that. So that is definitely very specific in the email that they gave once they sent the review copy over. Um, so yeah, so that's definitely a thing.
Okay.
In terms of the other half of your question, because that's is slowly coming to me. In terms of penalties, I do not want to push the envelope for that because the fact that review copies are still being sent to us. I don't want to ruin in the relationship by putting the pushing the envelope, especially for future titles that we would like to check out. And I don't want us getting blacklisted or
Oh no,
being
no, no.
on
See
the hit
that, that
list
see
for
that's
that.
not what I meant. I mean, I
That's for me.
just
No,
oh
I know that's not
okay,
you
okay.
what you meant, but I'm just saying for me personally, I don't want that to ever happen. But I don't think people are going to be penalized because the cutoff, although it was late when they send out the tweet, I guess once they realized it or once it was brought to their attention, but once they pulled it, nobody was able to do anything with it. And once I don't think they ever re-added the demo. I don't recall re-seeing that until they're probably going to fix it and then put it back up. But I didn't see the demo again after they pulled it. Um, so I had to re-download. I had to delete that and then download the Yakuza 6, what they sent me, on top of whatever other, stuff that was connected to that. So it took almost all day into the next day for me to get the full stuff downloaded. But it's on there now, so I should be able to play it this weekend, hopefully. Play some more and I'll go through that. So definitely join me on that quest of Yakuza 6.
Nice. Okay.
Word. Good stuff. It's definitely good stuff there. So what did you add? What did you want to chat about? Let me know.
We can do that after this last one. It could be the ultimate.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so the last thing was really interesting as well because we all know that Hideo Kojima is a god to a lot of individuals because of all the different things that he contributed to the gaming space and all the individuals he inspired to create awesome content. And I definitely had the opportunity to take a picture with him, and I'll forever cherish that. Um, yeah, amazing guy, very humble, and you would not think that all that awesome creativity will come out of somebody that humble, but typically that's the formula, right? And So the staff, the Konami staff, left them a secret message, and I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that, Daniela, first as I kick back. Chat also, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that because the man is amazing. I mean, come on, Metal Gear changed our lives forever. I don't care who you are. Either you heard about it or you played it, right? Or both. So, Daniela, talk to us.
Think I've seen so much shade for within a studio in any
Crazy.
game ever.
Crazy.
Like that they're sneaking in little things and little jabs. Um, I'm personally not gonna be playing Metal Gear Survive. It just I don't know, it just doesn't hit me and it just seems weird. I don't care if it has a name, but that's all it is. It's just the name, Metal Gear. But apparently, some people have found these little thank yous to Kojima himself within the game, and one of them I'm trying to find the thing. So the screenshot that I have here, the very bottom, it has a roll call of soldiers that spells KGP Forever, and if you know, that stands for Kojima Productions. And on top of that, the last two names, which is at the bottom, it says Bastard Yoda and Cunning Yuji, which seems to be references to the survived director Yoda Susumizaki and producer Yuji Korekado, which I might have butchered those names and I apologize. But they are the only names on the listed marked as AWOL, and everyone else is either killed in action or missing in action. And those nicknames here suggested that someone wasn't too pleased with their place in how things went down.
Word.
So there's a lot of jabs that is happening. The Konami family isn't super happy. But you know what? Kojima-san is just happy.
He's so happy right now.
Kojima is just living his life. We're gonna see his new project, Death Stranding, and I have no doubts it's gonna be an amazing game. The man is very brilliant, and look forward to it. It's just really really sad. On top of that, ending the final credits of the game does include it. I think it's really weirdly worded, but it gives a special thanks, and it says special thanks Metal Gear Solid 5 all staff. Like that, the phrasing of that, I don't know if maybe just the translation was a little bit weird, but I'm like,
Right.
okay, so I guess you mean obviously all staff would include in some way Kojima as well.
Yeah.
So
It's a
just
lot.
some shade.
It's a lot going on with that, man. But the man is a legend.
But
Absolutely. But
what I wouldn't be surprised about, I don't think it will happen anytime like in maybe the next 4 or 5 years. But I can definitely picture Kojima and Konami finding that level ground again and working together again. Maybe not as in depth as he was for the Metal Gear series, but
right.
I can picture. I mean, he has a long history with them. I mean, can you really hold a grudge for that long? It's Kojima. Come on.
Some people do. Some people do. But he has the leverage though. I mean, he has, even if he does it as a consulting thing for a particular company to inspire, other great developers that are coming to the scene, for the next generation or whatever, he has the leverage and he has the ability to make everything dope. And that's just who he is. And I think one of the movies, if I remember correctly, that was on his top five list was The Shape of Water, actually, if I remember correctly, because they had a little list that Kojima really enjoyed. There was some other titles there, but I think Shape of Water was one of them. But yeah, as far as Yakuza is concerned, Aaron, definitely check that out. If you could pick up one or two, depending on how you feel about it. I think Yakuza Zero. I heard a lot of great things about Yakuza Zero, which was recent, and obviously Yakuza Six Song of Life. I'll be playing more of that, so definitely join in and check out more of that with me. That'd be awesome. Daniela, what's up?
So, one last thing, and forgot to mention this in our entertainment section because this happened quite recently. Um, you know what I love about the Marvel series
What do you
is
love,
that
Daniela?
they're the way that they advertise. The way that they're advertised is always so good because Thursday, I can go find this little tweet messages here on Twitter. Studios tweeted out, on a scale of 1 to infinity, how excited are you to see Infinity War on May 4th?
Mm,
In which Robert Downey Jr., aka Iron Man, replied back to them, any chance I could see it earlier.
that's dope.
And then Marvel came back, anything for you, Mr. Stark. How's April 27th?
That's dope.
Then he comes back, great, with friends. And they tweeted him a gift of like, you mean these friends? And of course, it's the gif of all of them running out in the forest. And he's
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then he replies back, he's like, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, he goes, the entire world? That's a fantastic idea. Done. And then they attached their newest movie poster with their release date of April 27th.
That's pretty dope.
I think it is. That is amazing. I'm super excited to see that film. And it makes sense because how many, like the last show that we did, how many shows that we realized there's great movies coming out in May?
So
A lot.
much. A
A
lot.
lot. But not so many, like, I'm sure there's great movies coming out in April, but right now, I cannot think of a single movie right now that is going to cause as much hype as Avengers Infinity War for Marvel. Really, it isn't. April, great move. It also gives that little break because Deadpool also comes out in May.
Good move.
So it gives them some space. I mean, they don't necessarily fall into the same, category or anything like that. But you can only have so many great titles. I believe there's three, well, there were three really big movies coming out in May. So moving this earlier, they're gonna catch that mad rush. It's gonna be a really great start of like going and leading into the summer. So I'm super excited. I love this movie poster. I actually really, really, really want it.
Right, right,
It
right.
looks nice. So I'm super excited.
So movies in May 2018. Trying to see. You said Deadpool and definitely I don't know what other Marvel movies are coming in May. May seems like a busy, like really busy month. I'm trying to find a page that shows all that stuff, but no luck right now. This page didn't have anything I was looking for. But yeah, it's gonna be dope. I'm excited about that. I know you are.
Very much so.
Very, very cool. Any final thoughts, comments from the chat? Any final thoughts and comments from you, Daniela, before we close out?
Solo of Star Wars movies comes out in May. That's the third
Okay,
title.
very cool.
So
A lot happening. A lot happening. So yeah, so this episode of the show radio, episode 392. I'm thinking the audio podcast will be Monday. Typically that's when you release it. I want to release it earlier, but I'm not sure. I'm debating that if I want to do Sunday or Monday. But definitely thank you guys for listening and hanging out with us, participating, asking all the questions on topic, off topic. It really doesn't matter. Excited about all the things that are happening with us through you guys, as well as all the participation stuff is really dope, dope, dope. So Daniela, you can close us out with any final things you got.
um wow, okay. I felt like it went by so quickly.
Which one?
It
What went
really
by
did. I
fast?
don't know, the whole show, just the whole talking.
But yeah,
It was
it
fun.
did.
But it I did it at the same time. I didn't realize like 2 hours went by. Just over 2 hours. Super, super good.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So thank you for watching, and if you weren't here live with us, thank you for downloading our show and listening to us. If you have any feedbacks or tips like your was for your audio, please let us know, whether it be audio, video, anything, or you just have questions. Email us at community@theshowradio.info. You can also never miss a show. You can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv / the show radio live. I had a brain fart there for a little while. And turn on your enable your notifications. I know sometimes we have been like a little bit, sometimes there's Sunday, sometimes there's Friday, sometimes there's Saturday, but this is the best way. If you turn on your notifications or even follow us on Twitter, you can also download on your favorite podcatchers at theshowradio.info / listen. And for all of the notes that we talked about today, even the last one that we added on last minute, you can check out our website at theshowradio.info. And until then, we will see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Peace out, guys.
Okay, let's